Hey guys, welcome back to Talking Blues, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well today. Before we get into this video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe and turn the notification bell on to be notified when we upload. So, getting straight into this, we're going to discuss today a bit about everything. We're going to discuss problems internally in the club, we're going to discuss the new owners, we're going to discuss Thomas Tuchel, we're going to discuss new players. We're going to discuss a whole range of problems and different things that are going on. And we want to know what you think, guys. Please get involved in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear what you're thinking, and we'd love to have a chat with you in the comment section below about your opinions and see if we can come to an agreement. So, first thing we're going to discuss is the new owners. We're going to discuss what we're thinking about them. You know, they're new to the club. They come in last season towards the back end, and it was exciting. Sad that Roman went, but now we've got new owners, bringing in new players, new chapter for Chelsea, and so this is very exciting. But what it also does come with is its problems and its flaws. Now, my first thought is, well, what are the owners doing? What have they done? They've brought two very good players in Kalidou Koulibaly and Raheem Sterling. But what has happened is a lot of the board members of the past have left. We've lost Roman Abramovich as the owner, obviously. We've lost Marina Granovskaya. We've lost Petr Cech. You know, I think Bruce Buck's gone as well. So now we've got Todd Boehly, who's taken most of those positions. Now, I personally think we need to have a board of people. You know, Todd Boehly is obviously building his board very slowly. You know, you got the consortium of Todd Boehly, Clear Lake Capital, and Hans-Ulrich Weiss, and many others, I presume. You know, who are involved in this ownership of Chelsea. I believe that there needs to be some changes. You know, there needs to be a full board, and there needs to be, you know, everyone has their role, everyone is designed to that role, and we go from there and we build something. You know, I'm very aware that this takes time. I'm very aware that they haven't completely settled in. We've been to America, we've been on pre-season tour, etc., etc., etc. But we had the back end of last season to sort of get this prepared. Now, I'm very excited by the new owners, but I'm also anxious about it because I think it could come with its problems. And obviously there's going to be a settling in period. There's going to be times where this is going to get tough. And I believe that we can come out the back end of this very well. But I also believe that this could be problematic also. So I'm going to pass over to my dad now, and he's going to just, you know, give a rundown of what he thinks.
Yeah, basically... I think, you know, with the problems we've had in the past, and, you know, with Abramovich going, Marina Granovskaya and Petr Cech, we were left with a very big void, you know, in the club. You know, when Todd Boehly stepped in, yeah, in some ways was delighted, but in another way was quite apprehensive. You know, when you look back and see, you know, new owners come into a club, and sometimes it just doesn't materialise, you know. One example is the Glazers at United. But one thing is on my mind at the moment, and, you know, with Thomas Tuchel, I think he's overloaded, yeah, with a lot of pressures. You know, he's been head chef and bottle washer these last few weeks, where he should be concentrating on training these boys. And, you know, as we've seen over the last few nights, you know, the flaws in their play. So, you know, we need to get a resolve on that immediately.
I think the problem that we have at the moment is Thomas Tuchel has been given full control over transfers. Okay, yes, he's got a great scouting department who do know what they're doing, but they're taking too much time. When we say when Tuchel says he wants this player, this player, this player, this player for a reason, get them for him, because that's what he needs. Without those players, he can't really do anything. At the moment, he's got all these eggs in one basket and he's overloaded, I believe. The players obviously have come back to pre-season unfit. They've obviously been anxious about the new owners. And there's a lot of different things going on internally at the club, you know, with the board and whatnot. And I think these are problems that need to be addressed very quickly. How do we address them? Well, straight away, get new board members in, getting trusted people who know what they're doing. My one concern about the owners, though, is they've never run a football club. They've run like the LA Dodgers and whatnot, you know, big American baseball teams and so on and so forth. But that is a completely different kettle of fish to running a football club. There can be a lot of red tape to go through with running a football club. You have to go through all these certain aspects, and you know, I believe that we are going to come out at the end of this on a good spell, and I think it's going to be good for us, you know, to restart and rebuild. And I think Todd Bowley is the guy to take us forward. As we've seen already, he's dived straight into the market and he's really keen to get players. You know, with Raheem Sterling and Khalidou Koulibaly.
Hopefully, yeah.
I believe, though, Thomas Tuchel is overloaded and I think we need to see some changes. So, for a start, I think we need to look at the scouting department. That is one thing that really concerns me at the moment. The scouting department is important for Tuchel because obviously he's using data analysis now to analyse what sort of players he needs. And we need to find those sorts of players for him to suit the squad, because obviously he wants to coach a certain way, and if you don't let a coach a certain way and get the players he needs, then obviously there's going to be problems because you've got players from past managers like Frank Lampard and even some from Sarri's day, you know, who are still there and who still play the Sarri way. I believe now it's time for change. I believe a new board, a new scouting department, and let Thomas Tuchel do his work. You know, let him do his job and get a board that can do it. Got a mixture of everyone doing different jobs.
This is what I see, is that the uncertainty in the players, you know, tips the balance a little bit, and it is, you know, with what's happened in the last few months, it's like going into the unknown, and you know. I hope, you know, and I pray that, you know, we will come out the other side of this tunnel with the sun shining and, you know, lifting that cup at the end of the season.
I have my doubts about how we're going to start the season. There's, as we've clearly seen from the last 3 pre-season games, we've not played well. We won against Club America by the skin of our teeth, realistically. FC Charlotte gave us the runaround, and Arsenal, I won't say anything about it because it was just absolutely pathetic.
But one thing springs to mind here, you know, these are friendly games, and as I said in a previous video, we don't need players getting injured, yeah? You know, they go out there with this attitude. It's a friendly game, yeah, okay. You know, how many goals we score or didn't score, you know, was there a trophy at the end of this game? No. So, you know, sometimes, yeah, you've got to play it safe. Yeah. But
there's playing it too safe. There's playing it too safe. And what we've done, we've come back to training. We've looked unfit. We haven't looked sharp. We've looked lacking energy. We don't look like a team that wants to play at the moment. And I think that's down to club problems internally. A lot of players want to go, and a lot of players want to stay, but lots of them I am noticing do not look like they do not care.
But let's judge this, you know, on the first few games of the season. Yeah?
Yeah.
Not on friendlies. Yeah.
I think another problem that we need to discuss as well, and this is one thing that I've really had an issue with, is the transfer policy. When we had Roman Abramovich and Marina Granovskaya at the helm, there was a lack of management and ownership, board relationship, communication. A lot of the time, Roman Abramovich and Marina Granovskaya would bring in players they wanted, not what the manager wanted. I hope that's not the case this time for the club. I hope that Todd Bowley and the board listen to Thomas Tuchel and the scouts, and you know, they get the players that Thomas Tuchel wants. and what he needs, rather than what the board want, which is big money signings that are going to make money for the club. I think right now the most important thing is to get players settled into the squad, get them ready for the new season, because that's what the club is all about. Is the players and the fans, and playing games to win trophies. Everything else comes after. But first of all, let's get the team playing how it should do. And the only way we can do that is by getting the players Thomas Tuchel wants, and letting Thomas Tuchel focus on his job of coaching these players to the highest standard. I also want to discuss the transfer policy, if there is one. Is there one? If there is one, it needs to be changed. So. And if there isn't one, one certainly needs to be implemented. You know, I'm not going to beat around the bush with this. As I've said in the past, the board have done exactly what they wanted, not the manager wanted. So there we go.
Yeah, well, you know, I think, you know, from the CEOs down, you know, to the board and to the manager, I think it's the manager who should have, you know, the say on what players he requires. You know, he's a technician. The manager we got is the magician. Yeah, you know, and this is how we come up trumps. This is how we win trophies, titles. Yeah, and you know, let them at the top deal with the finances. Yeah, and the manager deal with the everyday running of the club. Yeah, and it's players, what he wants.
I think that's very good opinion from your dad. I think that's a really good opinion. I think that's really, you know, quite an interesting sort of view. You know, you let the people at the top work with the finances, and you let the coach and the players do the tactics and the knowledge of that. And when the manager says, I want this player, this player, this player, you go out and try and get it for him. You don't just say, okay, we'll do our best, blah 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 blah, and you go and get whatever you want.
This is what happens, you know. You overload the manager, yeah, and his support team, yeah, and you know everything just explodes and the shit hits the fan, and you know.
Yeah, I just believe now at the moment that we are in a situation where we need to build a transfer policy. We need to build a board that can have a good relationship with the manager and upwards. The one thing I would like to talk about as well, I'd love to hear your opinion on, is Deadwood Players. Players like Batshuayi, Ross Barkley, Kennedy, you know, all these sorts of players, Malang Sarr, players in and around the squad like that at the moment, they're really not designed to be here. They should have been gone ages ago. They should have been gone during the Roman Abramovich era, but they clearly weren't. We had the transfer ban under Lampard for their first season, and he had to use those players. He had to use the players he had. He had no choice. Now we have a choice. We can choose to play with the players we've got now, who are not great and not fantastic, or we can choose to shift them on and bring some players in who are willing to play and fight for the badge and fight for the team. I see it like this: if we don't get rid of these Deadwood players soon, then it's going to cost us trophies in the long run. It's going to cost us victories. It's going to cost us, you know, good memories. I'm just thinking now that these players, they're not good enough. I watched Batshuayi and Malang Sarr come on against Arsenal in that friendly. You have Koulibaly on the bench. You have players like Chilwell. You have players, all these sorts of high caliber players, and you choose to bring Sarr and Batshuayi on.
You know, but these are, you know, reasonably good players. You know, when we talk about Deadwoods, yeah, you know, they're still good players, but, you know, they're not designed for us. Yeah,
they're not good players.
But, you know, they just a lot of them are just sitting around on the bench where they could be pursuing their careers elsewhere. And we need a whole new revamp, yes?
Yeah.
You know, there are still, you know, quite a lot of players that we need replacing. You know,
I mean, that moves us on. You know, before we move on, I just want to say, Dad, you know, these players that we're talking about, Batshuayi, Barkley, Malang Sarr, they're not great players. They're not players designed for this squad. Your opinion is great. It's a valid opinion.
I'm not saying they're of high calibre. What I'm saying is, with these players, it's such a time wasted. They should be somewhere else pursuing their careers. Yes.
Yeah. I agree. I agree, but they're not designed for us.
We should have this new team, really. Implemented in Chelsea. Like you say, there's just been too much Deadwood for a long time.
I see a lot of your points, and I do agree with most of them. But there are also players in the first team who I could class as Deadwood as well. Timo Werner being one of them. Players like Jorginho, who maybe needs to go. He's been integral for years, fine, but he's starting to show that he hasn't got the legs and the ability, and he's got the ability. He hasn't got the legs though in this squad. This is players like Aspi want to go as well. Maybe let them go.
This is one of the things that, and we talk about Timo Werner quite a lot, and in internationals, he's scoring goals left, right, and centre. He came here to the Premier League, which I believe is the hardest league in the world. Yeah, and how many players have come from overseas to play here, with great expectations, and what hasn't happened?
I mean, we keep buying all these players from overseas, and they come in and they don't perform. I'll reel off a few: Alvaro Morata, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz. At the moment, he's not performing as he should be. Players like, all these sorts of players. We need to start, as we started with Sterling. We bought Sterling from the Premier League, Man City, Premier League proven. We need to start buying more Premier League proven players. Now, onto this subject, what sort of players do we need for the start of the season? To perform at the highest level at the top of the top four of the league. What players and what positions do we need to improve? Now, my view, straight away, I'm sorry, but we do need a left wing back backup and a right wing back backup. Now, my first thought of a right wing back backup, or competition for Reece James at least, is Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan. I think he's a quality player, and I think we could get him for around 50-60 million pounds. I think that would be a stunning deal. At left wing back, a left wing back, there's not a lot of option, but recently I've been inclined to look at someone who can match Chilwell, because Chilwell was out injured last season for a long time, and we had to watch Marcus Alonso slug it up and down that pitch all the time, and it got boring, it got frustrating towards the end of the season, because he doesn't run, he's not fast, he's not defensively sound. Going forward, he's phenomenal, he can score a goal, but we need a backup left wing back, and my view is maybe here is the sort of player we could look at, the likes of Alexandro of Juventus, Miranda from Real Betis. Those two players are good enough quality to come in and back up or challenge Ben Chilwell for that left wing back position. Also at centre back position, we do need another centre back. We have Thiago Silva, Kalidou Koulibaly at the moment. We have Levi Colwill, Ethan Ampadu. We have Azpilicueta at the moment, although I think he's going to leave. I do think we need another centre back. And my personal choice would be Wesley Fofana of Leicester City. He's quick, he's strong, he's energetic, and he can hold the line with the rest of with Thiago Silva and Kalidou Koulibaly. We have Trevor Chalobah as well, who can do an excellent job. He's come through the ranks and he's made it to the first team. Now, my last three thoughts, are a central defensive midfielder. I think we need to bring Declan Rice. I know it's going to cost a lot of money, and I think he can do a stellar job next to the likes of Kovacic and Gallagher in Kante. I think that would be an exceptional, rotational midfield between all those sorts of players. And I think Declan Rice is definitely there. in that sort of calibre of player. And also he can play a centre-back role too. He can play left centre-back and central centre-back if needed. Also, right wing. I think we need a right winger. We need a creative right winger who can come in on that left foot and shoot and take players on. Anthony from Ajax, a decent player with a lot of potential still. You know, he's young, energetic. And for a striker position, you know, many of you may not have heard of him, but Noah Okafor from RB Salzburg, I feel he could do a decent job. He's a Swiss player. You know, he's young, energetic, pacey, tall, and I think he could do a stellar job up front. Dad, I'm going to hand over to you now, and you can talk through some of the things that you think we need to be so we can be ready for the start of the season.
Yeah, I still think, you know, as you just mentioned, you know, we need some key players. Yeah, we need to start off the season, you know, hit the ground running basically and win away to Everton. Pick the first 3 points up. But, you know, coming back to what I say, we need, you know, new blood. That's the, you know, that's the prime thing we need is new blood, you know, and, you know, to build on their experience, you know.
Yeah.
But we have to get rid of this Deadwood, you know. It's going to cost us, and it's been costing us these last, you know, few seasons, you know. Still no trophy coming home, and, you know,
the only one we've won in the last few seasons is the Champions League and the Club World Cup and the Super Cup. You know, they're phenomenal trophies to win. Thomas Tuchel did that for us, though. We didn't do that with just players. We did that with tactical knowledge and bravery, and that's what we need. And we need more players like that.
Exactly, yeah. You know, no FA Cup, no Carabao Cup. You know, take it, you know, 2 seasons ago we won the European Cup, but, you know, nothing since that. And, you know, let's build this team now. And, you know, okay, we've got another 4 weeks left of this transfer window. You know, come January, you know, are we going to buy again?
I would assume
so.
You know, I feel like we're at a turning point now where we can either go on this one road or this other road. Thomas Tuchel said at the start of his career at Chelsea Football Club, we want to build a team that nobody wants to play against. At the moment, we're looking like a team that everybody wants to play against because we're just getting more through. We got battered by Arsenal, and that was because of a poor team and a poor performance. Now I think we need to get players in fast. We've got 4 weeks left of the transfer window. We need to get a right wing back, a left wing back, a centre back, a defensive midfielder, a right winger and a striker. In 4 weeks, I don't think that's possible. But let's see what the board can come up with and what Thomas Tuchel can come up with. And let's see if they can put a board together. I want to see us put a board together. I want to see us take less of the edge off Thomas Tuchel. I want to see Bowley doing his thing. I want to see the owners putting the money in ready for the club to really thrive under this new ownership. I want to see this club build. And I want to see Stamford Bridge redeveloped as well. I want to see, you know, the club really build something. I want to see us challenge for titles. I want to see us going year in, year out with the likes of Liverpool and Man City. I don't think we've been capable of doing that for the last few years. But now, I think with a new owner, a new board, and a new transfer policy, new stadium, new everything, I think we could challenge Liverpool and Man City in the next year or two. Given that the board and the owners do exactly what Thomas Tuchel give Thomas Tuchel exactly what he needs, and the board manage the finances correctly, and we don't get ourselves into any sticky situations. But that's it from us, guys. You know, I've really enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed talking to you, Dad, about this. Yeah. You know, this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. I just haven't got around to it.
And this is the one thing, you know, I would like to see again. You know, let's build that team, you know, and, you know, sort of, I know we can never go back in the past, but have a team like we were 2009, 2010, yeah?
Teams that would fight for the badge, be aggressive on the ball, fast in the attack, you know, strong defensively, and come together as a team to build a unit of a club that can go out and fight for trophies. And I want to see that too. I am determined to see that, and I'm hoping that the owners and the manager feel exactly the same. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. What do you think about the new owners? How do you feel about what they've done so far, and what do you think they need to do? What does Thomas Tuchel need from the owners, and will he get it? Transfer policy. Do you think there's one in place, and if not, do you think one needs to be implemented? Right, Deadwood Players as well. What sort of Deadwood Players would you like to see go? Would you like to see, this Deadwood Players become a thing of the past? What sort of players do you think we need, guys? What sort of positions, what sort of profile of player do you think would suit our club? Let us know in the comment section below. And before we end this video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on to be notified when we're uploading. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. See you later.